Hi guys, Lyman with Liquid Studios. I'm going to show you exactly how to go through this entire template really quick and show you how to edit every single piece of this. Right, make it super flawless, and it's very easy to do. We're going to stop up here in our text and our logos, go up to our year. Now, the way that I have this designed is each layer is basically editable. You can click on right here, double click that, you can go stroke. So this is a stroke. So essentially that's what's going on the outside of this. You can turn it to the outside. Right now I have it to the center because it looks a little nicer that way. And then you can go over here to the gradient. This gradient you can also click off and you can make it a solid color. So I go up here. I want to change this. I can make it red, whatever you want to do. Okay. So for this purpose, I'm going to leave this as a gradient. If you want to change the color to gradient, very easy. Go in here, click whatever two colors you want. There. And replace it. So if I want to make it yellow, and I can click right here up there, okay, and you see up there. I'm going to click out of this because I don't want to really change it. One thing I can do, if I want to match all these styles, so I want my year, I want my number, I want my mascot name all to look the same, I can right click, copy layer style, next click down on my number, paste layer style, looks the exact same. If I want to have my plate, I think I can do it the exact same way. Okay, click out there. And the Rams mascot name, once again, I can paste, make it look exactly the same as that. So you go down to the names, double click again. You can change the color here. You can change the stroke or that little line on the outside there. You can change it to whatever color you want. Okay. School name is exact same. Now, one thing I'm going to show you on the star right here how to change this. You go down here, first of all, click on this, right click, and then put clear layer style. I probably shouldn't have put that in there. I was messing around with it earlier. So what you're going to do is you're just going to click here. If I want to change whatever color it is, let's say I want to make it yellow or green or whatever. I'm going to click right here, and it changes it. Okay. So I'm going to cancel that out. Whatever color, just double click, click your color. Okay, when we go up here to our player, this is our player right here. All you got to do is replace that. Okay, it is cut out. You can move him around in there. See, he can't get past there. All right, so you're going to be nice in there. You'll be able to move him. All right, our next section, we're going to clear out that. We're going to close all these out so it's nice and easy to read. Okay, we're going to look at our design blocks. Now there's a couple things. We have kind of these lines through it here. It gives us some texture. Those are optional. You can turn those off. If you want it just to be a solid color, super easy. Click that off. On. We're going to leave it on. If I want to change whatever color this is, very easy. Double click on that. I want it to be red. I want it to be white. Okay. I want it to be gray. Any of those you can do. Now on these, see that outside line? The way to do that, double click here. Once again, go to your stroke. Change the color. Let's say I want to make that white. Okay. Now you can see it's all white on the outside around there. Actually, yeah. I'm going to change that and leave it, let it go back, but that's how you do it. Now, the big question I always have is how do you change the color of the inside of this, and how do you change the outside of the change color of here? So we're going to go here first. These are optional, right? The way that I have this set up currently is so that this is croppable if you're selling it as a 8x10, a 4x6, a 5x7. And I'm going to show that to you really quick. I'm going to pull up my ratios. If I put a 5x7, that's where it cuts it. A 4x6 does it there, and an 8x10 is obviously already on the outside. Now, I did include in here a 2.5 by 3.5. You can still use this without redoing your work. You can go 2.5 and 3.5. I'll clear all these. That's where your card cut comes in. All right. So if you want to save these and then resize them, you totally can. You can crop it out, but that's where it's going to be. Makes it nice so you don't have to redo work over and over again. All right, so the way that you change the colors on here, first you're going to go to your framed outline here, and then you're going to open it up. Your outline, you're just going to double click on here. It's just color overlay. All right, so if I want this to be white, I'll click over here. Boom, you have a white color. All right, we're going to leave the same color. That's how you change that. If you don't want it on there, you can simply click it off. Really easy. Okay. Now, how do I get this frame? How do I get that gold around the outside? You're going to go into your main frame, and you're just going to double click right here. That's all it is. If I want that to be white, if I want it to be a little wider, a little more pronounced, I can do that. Okay, just in that stroke. We're going to cancel that off. Now, this whole section here is like your main frame where you can change the look of this. Okay, I'm going to break it down for you guys how we have this set up. You have a couple of different options. You can do a solid color here. Okay, you can do a gradient color. You can do a wood overlay. You can do a texture overlay, and you can do a combination of all of them. All right. So I'm going to unclick all of these. So we basically right now just have a single color layer. All right. I even click off there. So if I wanted to just change the color of it, I'm keeping it solid. I'm gonna click on right here, double click, whatever color you want to put here, okay? I think that looks a little plain, so personally, that's not what I would do with my teams. I love overlay stuff, okay? So I'm gonna turn this off. You can click on here with the gradient, the nice gold gradient here, you have the black over here. You can change it by double clicking. Once again, change your colors there and there. Whatever you want to gradient across, you can. All right, I'm going to cancel out there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, if we want that wood overlay, it's obviously not going to match what everybody wants to do. That's just a boring, oak wood look, right? You can totally change the color of this wood. Click on your saturation hue layer right here. Double click this. Make sure that you have clicked colorize right here, okay? Now, this, I can go up and find any color I want. I can change how saturated it is. If I want to pull it back here, get a cool gray, I can. I want to make it lighter, darker, but you can keep that grain look, which is really fun there, okay? I'm gonna click out of that. The other thing you could do, if you just like that wood look, but you're like, it's just too light for me, you can go up here to your curves layer. I have this turned on right here. And then on top of it, I like to throw a gradient over the top of it. I think it looks really nice, kind of gives it that matte look. There are so many ways to adjust this. Just play around with this later. For example, you have a texture layer, okay? You can completely change the way that this is by clicking here, okay? You can have a blue, all that kind of stuff. Once again, saturation, lightness, darkness, okay? All right. We are going to unclick all of these and we're going to go back to here like we had before. Okay, this is such a fun layer to play around with, but the biggest thing, make sure if you want that line inside, you got to double click the whole main layer here and check this. You can make it wider. It's going to do the inside. It's not going to go any wider, but it's going to make sure it's going to go inside right there. Okay, all right, I'm going to click out of that. Now the last thing you have, or two last things, right? You have player one right here. This is your main player, right? So you're just going to insert them there, very easy. And then your background layer, click that off. Your background layer here, you have two different options. You have field option 1 and you have field option 2. Depends on what look you're going for. Each one is very customizable in this respect too. You can change the hue and saturation again. So if you want it to be, I desaturated that. You can bring it back up if you'd like. If you want to colorize it, you can. I wouldn't do that. But essentially, this is where I have this desaturated all the way. And like that. But these are all very customizable. You can play with the curves here. You can make it lighter, darker, depending on the feel of whatever you're trying to accomplish. So guys, that's pretty much it. Every one of the templates that's in this Packmaster series is going to be designed the exact same. If you're having trouble with things, make sure you go back down to where they're in the big folders and just find out what it does, okay? Unclick them all. That's like the easiest way to deconstruct any type of template, is just find out where you're at with everything, right? And you can turn them all back on. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out as always. And I look forward to seeing what you guys create. Feel free to tag me when you do.